Welcome to Digital Hospitality. I am your host, Sean Walchef. This is a CaliBBQ Media production. We are so excited. Today we are coming to you from Ramona, California, from Mama Ramona's. My dear friend Andrew Simmons owns this restaurant. And you know, the coolest part about this show for me is that we had a deep belief when we first started that there was an intersection between content, commerce, communication, and community. All of those things intersect into what we call digital hospitality. And we have been on an endless search to find people that are playing the game within the game in restaurant technology and what we call digital hospitality. And now we're sitting here with the founder of Voosh, all the way from Bangalore, India, now living in Palo Alto. Yeah. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Sean, for having me. I'm super excited, to be talking to you about a lot of interesting stuff. The weather is amazing. I'm loving Ramona. We could have not chosen a better place to talk about restaurant technology. So yeah, I'm super excited. Let's begin.
Priyam Saraswat. Now you have to follow him on Instagram because my mistake was that I didn't realize that this founder is doing the things that we teach on this show when I go and I speak on stages, talking about how do you use your smartphone to tell a story. It's deeper than building a digital hospitality business. It's sharing your personal story. Priyam, Let's start with Instagram because I think for me, I couldn't tell you how excited I was when I was doing some research about Voosh, about the technology. We'll get into what you're building for restaurants, but I want to start with the storytelling aspect.
Yeah, thanks for bringing this point up.
So let's get
Sean.
the Instagram handle. Spell it out so that people can follow you.
Okay, so my Instagram handle is Priyam Saraswat, Priyam Saraswat. Just got lucky, because my name is a bit unique. So I got my name as the handle. So, it's very interesting because we all talk about leveraging digital media. We all talk about running Google ads or running ads on LinkedIn, Instagram. But when you sort of do it personally, when you realize that, this is the actual power of digital media, that, whatever sort of content or stories you are experiencing in your real life, you can actually make them visible to masses, and in some or the other way they impact their lives positively, right? So it started with with a short reel of mine in which I was talking about how people are getting addicted to Apple products. So I just took a very funny take on that you can't just end up buying an iPhone.
Yes.
You got to buy an iWatch, you got to buy the AirPods, the MacBook, and everything. Very small story, which everyone sort of relates to. But when you just talk about it casually, people sort of understand, okay, yeah, this is something which was part of my life, but, I just told it. And another story, which is very, very close to my heart, I just landed in San Diego. I was having, my margarita, with the sunset. And I met this amazing musician named Alec, right? So Alec had a crazy story. He was so passionate for music. He sort of went so deep into music that he can now actually heal people using music. So he studied music therapy from Berklee School of Music. And now he's actually healing people of their motor disabilities, their cognitive disabilities, using music as a therapy, right? So I felt that this is a story which is definitely untold, right?
Yes.
Nobody knows that music could have such deeper impacts in people's life. And I just wanted to make his story out in public, and I took his consent, and we just shot a small 40-second introduction about what he does, and I just opened that story, and people are loving it across the globe. People are loving it back in India. People are loving it in San Diego, and yeah, that's the power of digital media. That's how we can leverage the super connected world in 21st century to talk about amazing stuff we are building, to talk about amazing stories of people around us, which just get lost if we were not in this super intense digital age.
Bring me back to the first reel that you created, because I think it's so fascinating. For us, like I said, I teach these things. I talk about stop discriminating how to tell your story, audio, video, words, and images. But video is so powerful, and Instagram's moved from a photo platform to a video platform, which works really well on all the other platforms as well.
Yeah.
But bring me back to why.
Yeah.
You know, you did it as a joke,
Yeah.
but why? And then once you did do it and you saw how it connected with people, what made you do the next video?
Yeah, very, very interesting question. So again, I'll just sort of repeat, what you said earlier, that, I did not realize the potential. I mean, we were doing it sort of professionally with our brands. We were, of course, running it from a brand marketing perspective. But when you realize that, every small action or every small incidence in your life is sort of a content, right?
Yes.
It's some or the other way. And if you look at the bigger picture, this whole world we live in, we're just creating content on a daily basis, right?
Yep.
Just that some content might be just visible to the 4 folks in the room.
Yep.
Some content might be visible to billions of people via, let's say, a Marvel movie. And some content could be visible to tens of thousands of relevant people if you can just use the right channels to sort of reach more people. And that's what I thought, that we keep on doing some stuff in our day-to-day life. It could be related to lifestyle, it could be educational, it could be just a casual fun content for people to watch. Just that so the next reel was, I had bought a house, and since I was moving, I had to put it on rent, right?
Yes.
So it was a beautiful house, a beautiful two-bedroom house, which converts to a 3-bedroom, right? So very nice, funky design. I love the design, and I bought the house. And I thought that, okay, I need to put it out for rent. Let's use Instagram. Why spend money on a real estate broker when you have your distribution?
Yes.
So that was my basic first principles thought process. So, but I wanted the content to be a bit engaging. So I made it in a nice way that that it looks engaging, that people connect with the house. And to my surprise, can you guess the number of requests I got for renting that
3.
house? 3?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the number is 10,000.
What?
So I got 10,000.
Come on.
I got 10,000 queries.
No way.
Just to rent that house. Yeah, my
On Instagram?
On Instagram, my inbox, others' inbox is just spammed.
No way.
Yeah. It's like everyone just wanted to know about the house, and I was just flooded with inquiries. So yeah,
Sounds like a business.
yeah.
You should teach other landlords how to rent their house.
Yeah, so that went like crazy viral. It's gonna touch like 2 million views now.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's insane. So yeah, that's how we realize the potential of Instagram and social media in general. Yeah.
That is absolutely incredible. I mean, for me, it's understanding, as a restaurant owner, I spent so much time. We opened in 2008. And back in 2008, if I wanted to hire someone, I would put an ad in the newspaper, or I would go on Craigslist, and I would try to hire a bartender or a manager or a server. And now all I do is post on social media if we're hiring. I'll make a video on top of the roof of our restaurant, and I'll say, we're looking for this position. This is what we're offering. These are the kind of people that we're looking for. And just the power of direct messages on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, because you never know who's watching. And the people that are watching, they care, and they know you. They know you because they follow your content.
Absolutely. That's the power of social media.
So we had a conversation on the way up here. I picked you up in Mission Valley. We drove up to Ramona, up here to Mama Ramona's. This is the pizza innovation capital of the world. Can't wait to share what Andrew Simmons is doing. But we had a discussion about the difference between Instagram and LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Tell me, what is it going to take for you to start posting more of this original content that you're doing on Instagram onto LinkedIn? And how do you think of the two different platforms?
Yeah. So, Abe, glad we have this lovely conversation. I'm going to start posting more on LinkedIn for sure, because, as a founder, of course, you have some time limitations, but I feel that if you're anyway creating content, you should leverage all the channels. So I'm going to be definitely leveraging LinkedIn. It's just that there are like different facets to every social media, be it Twitter, be it LinkedIn, be it Instagram. And Threads is, of course, a new upcoming baby. So I mean, there are different facets to it. LinkedIn, of course, I would want LinkedIn to, of course, talk more about the beautiful technologies we are leveraging to empower the food service entrepreneurs. That's something which I definitely would want to talk about. But apart from that, anything which sort of motivates people, which inspires people to do big things in life, like telling stories of people who have accomplished a lot with minimal resources. That's something which I would definitely want to talk about more on LinkedIn, so that people are encouraged to do amazing stuff in their lives. But yeah, I need to leverage LinkedIn more, and I'm definitely gonna post more talking about new cool stuff, cool people around me, and just telling their stories to a bigger audience.
And I think one of the cool things is that when you find success on one platform with content, like you did with that real estate video, that real estate video can become a case study video on LinkedIn, not just for people in the food technology sector, but for real estate people, for anybody that's an investor in real estate. It's understanding the context within the platform.
Absolutely. There are nuances to each platform. You need to understand and respect the culture of that platform, because Twitter is very much like giving your strong opinions on a topic, right?
Yes.
That's what Twitter is all about. If you're just talking generic stuff, frankly, nobody cares on Twitter. I mean, that's how it works, and that's how it should be. That if you are just following the herd, why would people follow you?
Yes.
Right? People follow people who have some opinions,
Original
thoughts, which is very important in the free world. In the democracies, both India and US are like one of the biggest democracies, and everyone has their right to speak and put their viewpoint on any topic, right? So that's the beauty of Twitter. Beauty of Instagram is that you share your personal lifestyle, what you actually as a person are, right? Barring like your professional constraints, who are you as a person? So that's the beauty of Instagram, that you talk about day-to-day stuff. It could either educate people, it could inspire people, or it could just give them like a laugh, right? If someone is having a stressed up day, and if they come back from work at 7 p.m. and they see some content, it brings a small smile on their face.
Yes.
I mean, I think it's a very nice feeling, right? If someone says that I'm loving your content, it makes my day. I think as a content creator, there's nothing better than that, right? You would surely agree to it. So yeah, that's how I see it. And LinkedIn, of course, is more of a professional sort of frameworks. People love to talk more about their professional journeys, more about the products and cool stuff they're building. And of course, there's a lot of education. People can go there to learn more about the fields in which they're building, like especially for like a lot of AI stuff. I see a lot of artificial intelligence founders posting a lot of new stuff, and they're educating people on a daily basis. So everyone is sort of doing their bit to sort of uplift the entire community and make them sort of smarter, happier every day. That's sort of the core promise of each platform. And I feel everyone has a different tenet to it, but everyone is beautiful in their own way.
So we have a lot of restaurant owners that listen to this show. We have a lot of small business owners. We have owners that have multiple locations.
Yeah.
What is Voosh, and what are you solving?
Sure. So if you mind, can I give like slight background as
please,
to how we started?
Absolutely. Bring us back.
Yeah. So I'll give a brief background. So I come from a technology background. I studied engineering back in India. It's a school called IIT. It's like not to boast, it's the best engineering school in India.
Who's the competitor?
Oh no, we don't compete with anyone.
There is no competitor.
No, we are like
the number
elite.
You're the Harvard. You're the Harvard of...
Yeah.
Okay.
The admission rate at this is like 10x of Harvard. If Harvard takes like...
Really?
Yeah. Harvard takes like less than 1%. Ours is like 0.001%.
Really?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. We should put this or not.
No, we're putting that in. We don't edit anything. That was all just a joke.
But this is true.
This is a circle of trust. Anybody that listens to this is a circle of trust.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I went to that engineering school, and post that I joined an oil field technology company called Schlumberger.
Oil field
technology company called Schlumberger. So what Schlumberger does is it provides technology services to the leading oil companies in the world.
Okay.
So we used to be Saudi Aramco in Saudi Arabia was our biggest client. So I was based out of started with Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and then I moved to Saudi Arabia. So I was there for close to 2 years. It was an incredible experience, how we were empowering the oil companies, giving them access to a lot of data points which they never had access to, and which just sort of helped them gain more productivity.
Sure.
So that's where I realized the potential of technology. How can technology actually change the way businesses are done with something as fundamental as oil field technology, which is sort of running the entire world, right?
Yes.
So that's where I got access to working with some incredible business leaders, providing our technology solutions to them, and meanwhile the startup story in India was growing very fast. E-commerce was budding. A lot of venture capitalists started to invest in India, and all sort of the hype to start a company was there in my friend circle as well. I won't say I was not inspired by them. So I took a plunge and I started.
What year was this?
Sorry.
What year?
This is 2016.
2016.
Like
Okay.
15 and 16 starting.
it.
I came back to India and I started my first company called Tazo. It was a scooter sharing network. Via the mobile app, you can locate the nearest scooter and you can drop it off at the destination. So it was a network of scooters across the city of Hyderabad and Bangalore.
Okay.
So we started like with the first 5 scooters of our own. We put it on the platform and we started gaining traction. Slowly from like 50 users to 100 users. We were at a point where we had 150,000 active users
Really?
using our
Wow.
our products and our mobile application to sort of commute inside the city. So we ran it for close to a year and a half, and then I exited it. It was a good story. I learned a lot. Of course, there are a lot of issues when it comes to sort of operational excellence. There were a lot of operations involved, but I mean that's the beauty of startups, that there's a new challenge every day.
Yep.
And so it was good. We raised a couple of rounds of venture capital, exited the company, and and that's when I realized that how do you build for the end consumer? You have to think about the end consumer. How can you solve the pain points in their lives via technology on a day-to-day basis, right? So that's when my sort of entrepreneurial journey started. So post this I moved on from Tazo around 2017 end, and that's when I started talking to some of the best startup founders in India and abroad, and I got in touch with Ritesh, who is the founder of technology-based hospitality chain called Oyo. So at that time, they were growing really fast. They raised close to $1 billion from SoftBank. They
Really?
were valued at around $5 billion, and they
Wow.
were growing like immensely across the globe. So they were prevalent in India and Europe at
How
that
did you
point.
get in touch with them?
I mean, you're friends of friends,
And they introduced you? Or
Yeah,
they-
yeah. I got introduced via someone.
Yeah.
And I had a long meeting with him and the leadership.
For career advice or for?
No, so at that point I was exploring my next startup idea.
Okay.
Like what should I build next?
Yep.
Because I always had an itch to build something, and hospitality at that point I realized, and that's why I told that the backstory of Voosh, that I started studying hospitality sector in detail, like both hotels and restaurants, and I realized that when it comes to technology, still we are very, very behind.
Yes.
Like, because the primary reason is, and I respect that reason, that all the hospitality entrepreneurs are from the core hospitality background.
Yep.
They understand hospitality like in and out. They love it. They're passionate about it. They know how to satisfy an end consumer, who is coming to their premise.
Yes.
So that's something which they are like very competent in. But when it comes to sort of leveraging the new age technologies, I feel that it has never been their primary focus.
I agree.
And that's when the industry is a bit lagging when I compare this, let's say, to a retail industry, or let's say to an aviation industry, or be it advertising as well, right? Any industry, other industries are leveraging new cutting edge technologies at a much faster pace, than the hospitality space. So that's where I felt that we have a very, very big opportunity to empower this industry using technology. And I started studying and started meeting a lot of entrepreneurs. And of course, Oyo was a technology-enabled hotel chain.
Yeah.
They partnered with small hotel owners and helped them get access to the Oyo brand and the Oyo technology suite. Right, so that's where I got introduced to and it was very funny that I was just talking about what are the interesting spaces in the hospitality tech space, and the COO of Oyo at that point he said that, boss, we're gonna start the China market. It's like a brand new market for us. It's gonna be like a new startup for you. So why not you just come and head the growth for us in China? So
Really?
Yeah. So I thought, I said, just give me some time. Let me just think through it, because this was something which I was not prepared for this.
Sure.
So so then I thought about it, because China is definitely a black box for everyone, right?
Yeah.
Nobody knows. And they're doing some incredible stuff. I mean, they were doing some incredible stuff. They're still doing it, but which we were all not aware of it. We all knew that something amazing is happening in China, but nobody actually went there to sort of see it live, right? So I thought that it's going to be a good opportunity. We had a lot of cash for the China market, so sort of our hands were open to sort of experiment and learn the market. And yeah, that's when so we were a group of 4 people landing in China to start the Oyo brand in China, and then eventually we started building a phenomenal team in China as well, and the team size crossed around 3,000 people in less than 1 year.
Really?
Yeah, and the
That's
business
phenomenal growth.
Yeah, and the business in China exceeded India in like less than 8-9 months.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we grew massively. It was an amazing opportunity. I learned like every day was a new lesson in technology, a new lesson in people management, a new lesson in of course hospitality.
Yeah.
So that's how I got sort of introduced to hospitality and hospitality tech in general. And yeah, that's even furthered my sort of notion that a lot of scope is there to build in the restaurant and food service tech space in general. Yeah. So that was my primary motivation to your question, how I came up.
And
with the idea
when
of
did you
Voosh.
leave? When did you leave China?
Yeah, so I left China somewhere around end of 2018, and then I moved to Southeast Asia. So I spent close to 8-9 months expanding the business in Southeast Asia for Oyo. And then post that, I came back to India. I joined. At that time, I had to come back to India. There were some personal reasons, and I wanted to, just be back to the Bangalore startup community because that was also booming very fast. So I just wanted to come back and study more, research more, and of course I was consulting and working with another ride-sharing company there. So I worked with them also. To lead their growth and expansion, and of course, meanwhile, I was thinking about the next big sort of idea which I should pursue, primarily in hospitality tech. So yeah, that's how my brainstorming started for Voosh, and yeah, so in end of 2020, early 2021, we started building a product for virtual brands. That if you are a standalone restaurant or a cloud kitchen, how can we give you access to some really good performing brands and access to technology to run those brands so that you can get an incremental uptake on whatever you're making right now. So we started with this model, and sort of fortune favored us. We got into the prestigious Y Combinator program as well, which is based off, it's the biggest technology accelerator in the world. They take around 250 startups every year, and they help them grow, they help them nurture, they invest of course in them. So yeah, that's how I got introduced to the Silicon Valley sort of startup ecosystem. We sort of incorporated our company in the US, and that's when we started building the first version of the product, which was about the virtual brands and getting access to virtual brands and technology to run virtual brands for a standalone restaurant or cloud kitchen. This is sort of mid 2021, and we scaled this product up. We were working with 150 standalone restaurants, getting access to 5+ brands. But what we realized eventually, and our broader vision at that point, was to create value just via our products and technologies. But once we were scaling this up, we realized that there are a lot of operations involved.
Yes.
And it's not just a pure play technology game. And our power was, our strength was building strong technology products. And that's when we did a slight pivot. We believed in the core idea of creating value for these restaurant owners on the digital platforms. But we felt that a bigger impact could be brought once we build a solution, a SaaS solution for restaurant chains who are operating multiple locations to sort of manage and grow their business on these platforms. Because just a little bit backstory. When we were running these 150 locations, we felt, and we had a big technology team because at core we are a technology company. So we had like 10+ engineers and data scientists working with us. And we realized that we have this prowess, we have these technology bandwidth, but not every other restaurant chain owner is having this technology bandwidth, right?
Correct.
They're not having access to this technology.
Correct.
And there's no point building a lot of this in-house, right? And we were struggling with a technology team of 10 people and data scientists, because it's a mess out there when you're running 150 locations.
Yep.
And you are doing business on every online platform, plus you have your own distribution channel as well for your brand. It becomes a mess out there because there are so many metrics, there is so much data coming in on a daily basis. It just gets practically impossible to manually run the show on these marketplaces and sort of grow your business in a data-driven fashion. So that's where we identify, and we talk to 1,000 plus entrepreneurs across the globe. We talk to a lot of food entrepreneurs in Europe, in Southeast Asia. I spent some time in Indonesia and Malaysia talking to like 100 plus owners in these countries. Of course, I had a strong network in India, so I talked to some of the biggest chains in India. And of course, I had a chat with a lot of entrepreneurs in the US. And everyone resonated with the problem statement that, we want these channels to grow, but we are just stuck. We don't know. It's a black box for us.
Yes.
We don't know, and especially when it's too much, when the business grows and we have multiple locations, managing this data, getting hold of this data, taking actions on this data, gets like it's a mess. It's a black box, and only using technology you can beautifully solve for these problems and grow your business on these marketplaces. So that's when we realized that it's a big problem.
Yeah.
And since we ourselves faced this problem while running like 150 outlet chain, we thought that we should definitely democratize this product. We should build a SaaS solution around this so that all the food service entrepreneurs across the globe can use our platform and can seamlessly grow their online business using like the latest cutting edge technologies.
What do you see as the difference between digital hospitality in India versus what you're finding here in the United States market?
Yeah, so great question. So I believe the fundamentals remain the same. Fundamentals of hospitality, the digital hospitality, how I see it is that the fundamentals of hospitality will always remain same, that you have to give the best experience to the customer. How do you reach there? I feel like the digital platforms are the way to go, right? That's how the future of hospitality is going to be defined, right? It has to be digital. It can't be physical. I mean, we are in the 21st century.
Correct.
So the way I feel India market and US markets sort of behave in terms of adoption, I feel in the US, people are like very much open to any form of new technology. They are open to and they respect new age SaaS companies trying to get them more competent when it comes to technology and when it comes to sort of upgrading their systems, when it comes to how they look at their data and take decisions.
Yes.
So I feel that that openness is more in the US.
Really?
Yeah, it's definitely in the US compared to India and Southeast Asia for that matter. So I would say it's like Southeast Asia, India, and the US. And China anyway is a black box. So that's how I feel that people are very much open to invest in new technologies. They're very much open to test the impact of new technologies. And yeah, they have been welcoming. I'm having a great time talking to a lot of food chain founders these days, and they're all open to at least experiment and see the value of our product. That's something which I really love about the ecosystem. It's a lovely ecosystem, and I feel that we're gonna kill it. We're gonna have like the new age of digital hospitality. I feel is gonna be defined in the US.
One of our founding principles on this show and all the content that we do is that we learn through lessons and stories.
Yeah.
And recently on LinkedIn, Andrew Simmons, whose restaurant is where we are now, posted about a dispute that he had on DoorDash.
Yeah.
He went into a detailed explanation, and we're going to put a link to Andrew's LinkedIn so that you guys can give him a follow. He's one of the best LinkedIn creators out there. But he said specifically about what Voosh was building and what you were doing to help restaurant owners, not just single unit restaurant owners, but enterprise level restaurants with dispute resolution when it comes to Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub. Can you talk about the product that you guys launched?
Absolutely. I'll just give a very, very slight background as well to this product, specifically for disputes and reviews, right? So the entire, I feel, digital hospitality has been disrupted post-COVID. So if you see pre-COVID, the off-premise percentage was lying somewhere around 8 to 9%. But now, on an average, holistically, that number has shot up to around 17 to 18%, right? So
Really?
it's a huge jump. Yeah, it's almost 2x now. And this is like a overall holistic blanket. But if you talk about like good performing brands, some of the brands I've talked to, their number is as high as 30% as well.
30% of what?
30% of the total revenue is coming from off-prem.
Yes, got it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so the
Totally
number
makes
have
sense for
gone
us.
4x.
Yeah, for sure.
Number have gone 4x, but having said that, the overall capability of the brands and these marketplaces to handle that high share of revenue has not gone up. So their incremental effort to manage that business is more or less zero. It's a similar effort which is going on to manage those channels, but the share of revenue has shot up like significantly, right?
Yes.
So that's and we can't blame the marketplaces, because marketplaces inherently are designed to serve the end consumer. They are like customer first.
Correct.
They would build any new feature just to cater the consumer, right? They're not, I mean, nothing against them, but they're not focusing a lot to serve or cater the needs of a restaurant owner. And everyone agrees with that,
Absolutely.
right?
Yep.
For most of them, it's a complete black box. Be it your advertising on these platforms, be it your ratings and reviews, be it your sort of cataloging and pricing, or as I said, be it the disputes, right? So that's where we realize that it's a very, very big gap, that the market share has gone up, but I mean, people are getting so many orders, but they are just confused, and they don't know how to grow the business on these channels, and how to cut costs, right? Because we all know that it's a very, very less profit margin business, right? People have to go that extra mile to earn that extra profit, and you can't just let that profit go away in the disputed orders, right? And there are so many. On an average, there are 5% orders which are disputed. Imagine like someone who is doing, let's say 100,000 orders a month, 5,000 orders are just stuck. You're not getting money, right? So that's where we realize it's a very, very big problem.
Huge problem.
It's a huge problem, and solving it manually again is a very, very big pain, right? You need, imagine there are like 5,000 orders.
It's not Amazon.
You literally need 5 people just sitting there, and then it won't justify your profits, right?
Correct.
So that's when we felt that, and that's the power of technology. It's the power of cutting edge technology like artificial intelligence, which we incorporated. So now you just choose for the Voosh sort of dispute manager, and we will automatically handle all your disputes for you.
It's unbelievable.
We will take care of the communication you have to do with the marketplaces. We will understand the profile of the customer. We will understand the nature of the complaint, and we will file for a dispute representing you as a brand. And we have seen early days, but we have seen somewhere north of 75% as our success rate in resolving those disputes. Of course, we are learning each day, and we have also incorporated a machine learning algorithm which learns every day as to how you can solve for the disputes better. So every day our systems are getting better. So it's just completely sort of manless product in which you just opt in for our dispute manager, and we just handle it using AI.
So I was talking to Christopher Munns from your team, and he was telling me about the product and going into detail. Yeah. And I told him an analogy that, when we used to run fight night at our restaurant, where we'd have a boxing match or a UFC match, and I would pay all this money in licensing so that we could fill up the restaurant. You fill up the restaurant, but you want to keep the place safe. Yeah. And in order to keep the place safe, you have to keep rowdy people out. So I would actually have to hire a physical bouncer or a security guard. Yeah. Yeah. And what Voosh has done is it's a digital security guard for the restaurant owner. Yeah. Because now the restaurant owner doesn't have to go and spend all that time fighting with the third-party deliveries. Yeah. You are going to automate that process to allow us to go and run our business.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a very innovative way to put it up. I love it, Sean. And I think I'm going to use this line.
Use it.
I'm going to use it.
Digital bouncer.
I hope it's not a patent for you.
No,
I can use it.
No, everything we create, it's all shareable. If we don't do anything good, then we can't share it.
So I love this way, so that we are sort of automating a lot of stuff for which you might have needed sort of like a manual bandwidth. And we don't want, and as I said, right, we respect the fact that most of the entrepreneurs in the space are from the hospitality background. Yeah. And we want them to make the best food. We want them to just satisfy the customer the way they have been doing it traditionally, and leave the rest of the stuff to us, right? Leave everything related to implementation of technology, your intelligent decision making, how you run your business on the online channels. Just leave it to us. If you can just focus on creating good food, rest all, I feel with Voosh you can just just grow your business multifolds.
So as you build Voosh in the United States and globally, you're going to be participating, you're going to be leaving here, going to FS Tech,
Yeah.
which is one of the biggest food service technology conferences that happen throughout the year.
Yeah.
I know you have a team there. You're going to be setting up. You're going to be doing the food crawl with Rev and with Zach Oates, who are all friends of the show. We've had them on all of our shows. We create content together.
Yeah.
But can you talk a little bit about the idea of the digital storytelling that you and I shared on the way over here, and how can you help the team so that you can make a bigger impact? Because it's hard. I mean, I work with lots of different brands and they have different sizes of teams.
Yeah.
But social media isn't someone else's job. It's our job.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So, I just want to take in short, I feel that, you need to just not talk about salesy stuff. You just not,
Thank you.
You don't need to just talk about
Stop selling all the time.
Yeah. Stop selling all the time. And you just don't need to talk about like the end finished product, right? You need to talk about the nuances.
The process.
Right? The process, the nuances. And that's where the story lies, right? I'm sure that all of you just pick up any random food service entrepreneur or any random technology founder who's building in this space, they have a unique story.
Correct.
No two founders or no two food service entrepreneurs have seen a similar journey, right? People would be doing, and I was so much inspired by the journey of Andrew, right? That he's living in this part of the town, but he's connected like to all the folks in the industry, right? It's phenomenal.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah. So Andrew's story
like
is so
hanging
inspiring.
on, waiting for his next post.
Yeah, exactly.
They want to know the post and they want to know, did they do good or did they not do good?
Absolutely.
Because he's going to just tell it honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm going to hold these people accountable and I have a voice. Your voice matters.
Exactly. So everyone has a story, and the story is not the final finished product, which is like their stall at a FS Tech conference. Their story is that how did they reach there, right?
Yes.
What was the struggle to reach there, right? Maybe today Toast is having 90,000 restaurants, but at one point they started with just one damn restaurant.
At one point it was Steve Fredette, Aman, and they were sitting in a basement, literally building a company that is now a publicly traded company.
Exactly. And imagine that at that time, if they had the power of
imagine if they took videos. Imagine if they had videos of what they were building.
Imagine if they had put their stories or put their small nuances.
Yes.
They could have inspired a new generation of entrepreneurs, right? That's the
Absolutely.
power of storytelling. So I believe that it should be nuanced. It should not be fake or salesy. It should be genuine as it gets. And that's where you can connect emotionally with more and more people. And you can sort of impact more lives.
What we say is be the show, not the commercial.
Yeah, that's a nice way to
If you document the journey, then you're not selling.
Yeah.
You're showing.
Yeah.
And showing versus telling allows people to find out all different aspects of who you are, all different aspects of who your team are. Why do we wake up? What inspires you on a daily basis to wake up? What pulls you out of bed? Because I don't worry about on entrepreneurs and business owners. We all know what keeps us up at night.
Yeah.
I don't care about what keeps us up at night because that seems to be the same. But I want to know what pulls you out of bed in the morning.
I feel that how much impact can I create in this world? During the entire day. So whatever we are building, is it positively impacting the people for whom we are building? Or even if you are creating a piece of content, right? How is it impacting? Like even if it's impacting 10 people, it's a win. Doesn't matter. But it should positively impact the people around you. It should positively impact the businesses around you. I feel that's my primary goal whenever I wake up, that whatever we are doing, is it helping someone in some way? Yeah.
I love that. Every single week on Wednesday and on Friday on the social audio app Clubhouse, you, the listener, you, the viewer, can join us. It's a chance to be on, it's essentially a podcast. So if you've never been on a podcast, it's a virtual stage. You can come on stage, meet with digital hospitality leaders from all over the globe. If you're in sales, marketing, if you're a content creator, if you're in technology, this is a place where people that are playing the game within the game can come. We welcome you. Andrew's been on stage with us many times. Andrew, who owns Mama Ramona's. We have so many different people. I hope you join us.
Absolutely.
I'll invite you to come on stage, but please join us. This week's social shout out, we do that every week, goes to Christopher Munns. Christopher, I don't know how you found me. Some of the craziest things that I post on the internet allows me to connect with great people. Because you found my content, I'm now sitting with Priyam. I can't wait to continue to see where Voosh, the story keep getting building in public. Follow him on Instagram. I need you to give me a shout out. One person.
One person.
One person.
Shout out.
And why?
Okay.
And I already took Chris, so.
Oh yeah, you took my name, man. One sec. One sec. I mean, there are too many. Can I name Andrew? No. Andrew.
You can say Andrew.
So I think since I'm with Andrew and he's shown me around the lovely automation technologies he's been building, so I feel and I got inspired looking at Andrew, how he is automating the entire cycle of pizza. And so yeah, that's something which I always admire, someone utilizing technology and sort of reaching the maxima of efficiency. So that's lovely. So yeah, my shout out to Andrews.
So this, for those that are watching on YouTube, these are microgreens. And Andrew is showing us the revenue model as a restaurant owner, literally $250,000 additional revenue, because he's willing to do things that other people are unwilling to do.
Yeah.
The community needs it. His customers have asked for it. Local businesses has asked for it. And you can follow Andrew in his journey because he's willing to do things that are different, unique.
Absolutely.
And we all have to do that. That's why we host the show. So if you guys want to connect with me, it's at Sean P. Walchef, SHAWN, PWALCHEF. That's all the platforms. But send me a message on Instagram. Join us on Clubhouse. And how can people connect with you, Priyam?
Yeah, so on LinkedIn, my name is Priyam Saraswat. My handle is Priyam Saraswat.
And he's about to get real loud on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go all in.
All in on LinkedIn.
That's my company is Voosh. The name is Voosh. You can follow Voosh. We're gonna post more industry specific content, that how as a restaurant owner you can leverage the platforms. Right. So we're gonna talk openly about that. So just to help the restaurants manage their online business better. And of course, on Instagram, it's Priyam Saraswat. You can just come follow and, watch some interesting content.
Appreciate that. And as always, stay curious, get involved. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And we will catch you guys next week. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sean, for having me. It was lovely.